Okay, what's up everybody? It's Honestaudrey, or Audrey if you know me like that. If you don't get to know me, I'm pretty cool. So, before we do anything, you already know what's up. But before we get there, make sure if you have not, subscribe to my channel. Press the red button, guys. Press that little bell so you'll get a notification every time I post. I'm going to try to make sure I post at least twice a week. And I'm really excited about this content, so let's go ahead and dig into this video. Okay, so look guys, as you can see, I'm feeling really, I don't know, who's this? Who am I summoning? I feel like that girl right now. And I'm not naked, okay? It's a tube top. So guys, I want to talk about something that I feel like there should be seminars and classes and motivational speeches, presidential elections based upon this, okay? Well, maybe not that far, maybe. I want to talk about how to apologize. One thing that I can say that the elders in the society, and not even like extended elders, meaning that they are 20 years your senior in X, Y, and Z, but just people that are 5 years older than you, 2 years older than you, they don't really discuss how to apologize. Sometimes I'll get in conversations about why you should apologize, but hardly ever how to apologize. I'm here to tell you, okay? You ready? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna be trying to baby beat this face, and I'm just not feeling a ton of beat or whatever, and I've been trying to do better with taking care of my skin, so I'm not going heavy on the makeup. As you can see, I've already slayed and laid my eyebrows. I've tried to slay and lay these baby edges. They're all right for right now. So look, I have a little situation, okay? I had a disagreement, a family disagreement with my sisters, and of course, as you guys already know and are probably aware, family disagreements are probably the worst and most difficult to deal with, because for some reason we give crazy kind of allowances to family that we wouldn't give to normal people. But either way, my sisters and I had this crazy disagreement, and it was concerning my mom. You know, we all feel like we know my mom in a special way, which I believe that we do, but we know her in different light. Especially my mom, she gives information according to what's needed per child. We had this whole falling out. I ended up going back home for my best friend's wedding, and I'm supposed to, you know, be home, spend time with the family. This disagreement escalated so bad. When I got back to my home state, my home city, I was told not to go by the house. I was even put up into a hotel. So being that I am human, okay, I felt some kind of way. This is my home. I lived there for a large part of my life. My mom, my sisters, I'm like, we're family. What could you possibly be that upset about that I can't come home? So the long story short, short story long of it, gist of what I'm trying to say is we ended up not really resolving that issue, so that the whole time that I was in my home city, I didn't see them. I didn't go by the house. I was threatened. Physical harm and blah, blah, blah. And to me, I'm a whole 25. I'm too old to be, well, boss up. Are you too grown? And on top of that, I had a niece that was living in the home as well that I was going to go visit. I dare not put her mother, my sisters, or myself in a situation where her vision of us could be tarnished because of how we're handling each other. So with that being said, I didn't go by the house, and there came a time where my sisters, there came a time where my sisters came to my city. I try not to hold grudges, but I do hold little baby grudges. And my sisters came to my city, and they were like, are you gonna come and see us? What y'all about to do? What are you about to do? And me being, you know, petty bred and fed, I'm like, y'all reaching out to me. I was whole just in our home city for a week. Like, I was on that tip because I was still emotional about it. And at the end of the day, my mother was like, you know, you guys are sisters, you need to make a better effort, spend time with them. And the issue was I felt like I had a right in what I was saying and what I was doing, the choices that I was making at the end of the day. And again, here's one of the points about apologizing. Starting over, have to forfeit your right or what you believe that you've done right in order to rectify the situation. And at the time where I was basically going back and forth and saying, like, if you want to visit, you come by, like, you, whatever, you make an effort. I was forfeiting the possibility of rectifying the situation based off of what I felt like was right. It slowed down process and made my mom really frustrated because she recently lost her oldest sister, and they were very close. So, you know, as of late, and of course I wasn't thinking about this because, again, another point about apologizing. Sometimes you get caught up in your emotions. At that point, I was caught up in my own emotions and how I felt about things, how I felt about things. I wasn't considering how this could have affected my mother because of the current place that she was in. So with that being said, we ended up meeting up. We talked it out, and I just learned things about my sisters that I didn't know. I learned about their perception of me and my life, and I got to explain and share with them my perception of them and their lives, and it brought about some peace and clarity. And at the end of the day, and I'll say it like this because I'm an Honestaudrey, that's what I do, they didn't actually apologize to me. I apologized to both of them. Initially, I'm just like, I just gave up all my rights to what I felt like, you know, they shouldn't have done in order to apologize, and they couldn't even return the favor. Here's another point about apologizing. It's not about how they receive you. And I know that may sound weird, but it's super true. It's not about how they'll receive you. It's not about what they'll do in return based off of you humbling yourself. Think about it. If you're still in a place where you're expecting something in return for what you know is just right to do, maybe you haven't humbled yourself enough. I had to come to the conclusion of I didn't apologize to them so that I could get something in return, so that not even so that the relationships could be rectified. I apologized because what I did was wrong, and it wasn't wrong because morally it was wrong. It was wrong because I offended them. Another major point about apologizing. A lot of times we don't feel like we have to apologize for things that offended other people. Although we may say, if it offended you, I apologize. It's not if this person is going off, not accepting phone calls from you, you know you offended them. With that being said, it's right to apologize for what offends people, not just for what you feel like they've done or what you feel like they've done to you. You apologize because you've made an offense. The Bible even says that you have an ought against your brother. If you have an offense against him, you go to him and you apologize. The Bible doesn't say if you've done something that you feel like is wrong toward them, then you apologize. No, it's strictly about how you made that person feel. And although it may not be said a lot in the church, how you make people feel matters for a much longer time than what you've done to people. Because the reality is you can get past what someone's done. It's harder to get past how someone's made you feel, especially if they never truly acknowledge what they've done, which is another major point about apologies. You have to acknowledge what happened, not just what happened based off of your scope, their perception. When you go into an apology, there should be no other reason that you're apologizing except to rectify what has happened, not to bring what someone has done to you, not to go back and forth. Apologies are not about battles. Apologies are not battles. They are not about winning. Apologies are strictly about coming with the other person in hand, coming willing to lay down your perception of what happened, lay down your feelings, to directly put all your attention, your time into what did I do to make this person feel this way about me? What do they have to say about how they perceived what I did? Because you just never know. You never know why somebody perceives something a certain way. I mean, I'm really taking my time, my good time on this mascara. You never know, like, what someone was experiencing that could have made them receive you the way that they did. You never know what happened beforehand that made them, lashes, feel the way that they feel, the way that they felt about what you said or you did. You never know what it could have sparked in them that reminded them of something traumatic. You just don't know. And the only way you will know is if you come with them in hand. And I promise you, if both parties come with the other person in hand, you'll never feel like you're not being heard, and they won't feel like you don't care, which is another hard issue about apologizing. A lot of times the other party that is being given the apology will feel worse than they did before the apology started, because people give such half-hearted apologies for the sake of apologizing because it's right. It's not just about being right or doing the right thing. It's about your heart behind it, and people can feel your heart. You can feel when someone is genuinely apologetic, and you can feel when someone genuinely feels like, let me go ahead and apologize, or don't start talking bad about me, or always about avoiding something. For apologizing, it shouldn't be about avoiding a relationship change. It should be about rectifying situations. Major things that I've learned being married to who I'm married to, how to address people when you're trying to rectify a situation. At the end of the day, you have to have in your heart and postured in your heart humility, that whatever this person says to me when we start this conversation to rectify what's going on, I have to come hearing them and only them, not listening to my responses to what they're saying. You just got to hear what they're saying and where they're coming from. And a lot of times you have to accept it. You have to accept it. Sometimes it'll be like, you knew I didn't mean to offend you. You knew I didn't mean to talk about you in that way. You knew that I wasn't getting at something negative when I said such and such about you. But it doesn't matter what we feel like the other party knew. It's totally about how they received it. And at the end of the day, if it offended them, leave it at that. It offended you. It doesn't matter why I did it. It doesn't matter what my reasons were. That's another big phrase people use. You know, I had my reasons. It doesn't matter what the reasons were. At the end of the day, if a person was offended, you address it, you apologize, and hopefully you can move forward. And honestly, it'll give you peace within yourself, whether, again, like I said before, whether the relationship is rectified or not, it will give you peace to move past it. I mean, you did your part. You did it genuinely. Things I've learned about apologizing, definitely from my family, a ton from my husband, a lot from people that I had to accept apologies from who didn't actually give the apologies. You know, you've seen that meme about accepting apologies you never got. Well, it sound cute and it look cute on Insta, but you know, it's super real. Like I said, I'm like real simple Betsy right now. I just want my little baby hair so much. Look how long they are. When I get it washed, it be down to here. I know it's like right here, but when it get washed, it be like down to here. I used to say that. If you did, oh my gosh, comment below and tell me your little ratchet childhood story. I'm gonna finish off this very light, easy summer look with some of this Mario Badescu skincare, and it smells amazeballs, okay? And it's just kind of gonna set me in without drying me out, which most setting sprays do. And that's all I'm really feeling for today, guys. I really hope what I shared with you helped you and gave you maybe some insight about apologies and how to apologize, how to accept people's perspective and not take it personally. But at the end of the day, to do everything in love. So again, comment, like, subscribe. I love you guys so much. If nobody told you, here from Honestaudrey, I love you a tons, bun. Okay, bye.